So solid is a lot easier, a lot simpler, but it's very limited. You cannot get a 3D surfaces like you do in surfaces, but in solid you can get your state solid models. And all these commands are based on your SolidWorks. If you guys have taken SolidWorks class, it should be really easy for you guys to understand how this solid works. It's there, all those commands are extrude, revolve, loft, sphere, cones. These are all based on your constant fillets, chamfers. So they're all based on those commands. So we're going to touch on this, and we're going to create some projects using solids so you guys can see the difference. So you can create a solids, and from solids you can create also surfaces from solids. So I'll show you that also. So before we're going to get into this project, I'm going to talk a little bit about solids. I'll show you some examples, and then we can come back and we're going to create this project using solids, not surfaces, using solid. So let's go ahead and talk about solids first. The way solid works, guys, you have to have the basic geometry, the base where you're going to create a solid model. So you have to have a closed geometry outlaid, that what will be the geometry of that solid, and from that you can add a material, you can cut a material. So just as an example, the first project, actually the sample part we did in the class, if you guys remember, we talked about 4 inches by 4 inches cube. So we have to create the different surfaces on top model, on top plane, then on front plane, and on side plane. Then we create a surfaces, we create at a different Z level. If you guys remember that, we created, let's go ahead and talk one more time. This is what we did. We went to wireframe and we created a rectangle on the top plane here first, and this was by 4 inches by minus 4 inches.
Hello.
And okay, and I'm going to go ahead and change that color to green. And and then that, change that color to green, and our color is green also. So we created in a construction plane top, then we went to construction plane front, and going to front plane, and we created another geometry rectangle from this here, and that goes up to 4 inches. Hit the tab key, minus 4 inches, and then we created it in the right side. If you go to isometric, construction plane right, there we go. And in construction plane right, we did a rectangle from this point all the way to here, and there was my construction plane right. And then we went in a right plane, we picked up this Z over here, and we created a rectangle here again from this corner to this corner. And then we went to construction plane front, This is something we did earlier, if you guys remember that. And go to rectangle here. We did from there to there and hit OK. So that's what we did actually to create that box or a square or your rectangle you can call. So then after that, what we did, we went to surface and we create a loft surface. We pick single, this and this, hit OK. And then we went to this single, hit OK, hit OK. We went to single, this and this, hit OK. And then we went to single, this and this and this, hit OK. And then we did single this and this, apply, hit OK. And the last one is right here. So if you look at this, this is what we created. But here, your box, your cube, inside is hollow. There's no material inside. If I'm going to close this side, this face also, it will be still hollow inside. It's not solid. But we can use this surface right here, all the side surfaces, and we can cut this part. That's not a problem. But when we create a surface, your surface is always hollow inside. But we still have a shape of the surface where my tool can drive onto that surface. That's not a problem. So if I'm going to go ahead and close that single this side right here, I have done with my part, but inside is still hollow inside. If I say Alt S, you can see the surface, but inside is still hollow. Look at this, we created that, and how many steps we have to do that. We went top, construction plane top, construction plane front and right, and then we move our Z in different Z0 and Z positive 4 and Z negative 4. So this is what we used to do using a surface. Now, when we are talking about solids, we can create the same stuff, same. I'll go file, new, I'm going to erase that. I just want to show you that what we did earlier using surfaces, but I'm in construction plane top. And to create the same part, look at this here, guys. What we have to do, I'm going to just give a basic, your primary geometry. I'm going to create a rectangle. And let's say my rectangle is right here. And then I'll say my rectangle width is 4 inches by 4 inches. That's the rectangle right there. We'll apply it, okay? And I'm going to see, turn that off. Oh, I don't like that color. I'm going to go and change this back to green color, and I'm going to have my green color turned on for my wireframe. There you go. So I got the geometry, the length and width of that part. Now I can just add a material. So here, not using surface, I'll go to solid and click on solid, and I say I want to extrude. So it says use planar chains of curves to create a new solid bodies, cut a body or add a body. So I'm going to select extrude. It's going to ask me select extrude entity, not single, select a chain. I'm going to select this chain of the extrude. This is 4 by 4. I know that. I hit apply here, OK. And there we go. I can add my material right here. You always have to create a body first. That's very important. You cannot cut a body. You cannot add a boss. First, you have to have a body. So this is going to be my main body. And I cannot, if I go both directions, we'll go both directions. You want to go one direction, you can go one direction. And you can also reverse the direction. You want to go top or bottom, doesn't matter. So this is, I'm going to control my distance. Let's say I want 4 inches. and I am creating a body. I'm extruding, but I'm creating a body. You have to have a body first. So I'll hit OK and hit escape key, and there is my solid right there. And if you look under solid now, you can see under solid, this is your solids. That's your main tree, just like SolidWorks. And under main tree, if you click that, this is my first branch on my tree is going to be my solid. So I have created my extrude right here. That is extrude, and you can click on that, and you can anytime you want, you can change that. Let's say I want my height 3 inches. I can go 3 inches. It will go back to 3 inches. I want to go 2 inches. You can control that, but you cannot control the shape. Your shape is based on your initial primary geometry. You can add the thickness, you can change the thickness to whatever thickness you want, but you cannot change the geometry is because this solid is based on your geometry. And this geometry has to be closed all the time. It has to be closed. It has to be a closed chain. So I'll go back to 4 inches.
Record it.
Excuse me?
Could you please record this, Cesar?
Okay, I can go ahead recording. So we are not recording here. Give me 1 second.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So this is what you guys are going to see on solids. On each step, you're going to have all these different comments. Whatever we're going to use, that's going to be under your solid tree. So whenever you want, you can just go ahead and click on that. You can delete that. It will cannot delete base operations, so you have to delete the whole solid. Click on solid, and you can just go ahead and delete that. That solid is gone. This is just like your toolpath. We have a toolpath here, we have levels here, we have planes here, so we have solids here. So once we have that, let's go one more time. You go to not surface this time, you're going to go to solid and go to extrude. I want to add a material, and it's going to ask you select the chain to extrude. So this you're going to select this complete chain right here, and I'm on chain, and you can select anywhere, but this chain has to be a closed chain. And you say end chain, hit OK, and you're adding a body, creating a body. It says you're going both direction. Just uncheck that. You can go only in one side. You want to go up, you can reverse that direction. Just say reverse, and it will reverse your directions. And here you can select your thickness or the distance, how much you want to extrude. You want to go 5 inches, you can go 5 inches. You can go 6 inches, you can go 6 inches. Say I want 4 by 4. Here's my square 4 by 4. But it's a solid. If I'm going to hit OK, here is solid tree, and you just go and expand it. That's your extrude is right here. So now this is solid inside. Alt S. If I'm going to look at that, inside is solid. It's not hollow like surfaces. It is solid. It is solid inside, and this is your base geometry right here. So if I'll just go ahead and you want to go to extrude and double click on extrude, and anytime you want, you can go ahead and change it. There's a chain right here, and you can say remove chain or add chain or rechain all. You can also do that. You can add a chain also here. So you want to change this anytime you want, you can go ahead and change it. It's going to change to 3, hit OK, and it will change to your 3 inches. Double click on that, and I can go back and click that to 4. I can do it 4 inches right there. Okay, and there is your extrude. Solid, there's your extrude. Now, on extrude here, you can just go ahead and level. I can change my solids. There is my solid entities. Surface, this is solid. Select all solid entities. I can select that and change to level 2. use level 2. You can say that on level 2 is my solids. Okay. To level, I change my level 2 to solid. I can uncheck that and I can have my solids here. So now we have solid. So here, look at this. If I want to make a fillets, there we go. Under solids, just say constant fillet. Click on constant fillet. And under constant fillet, it says select one or more entities to fillet. This is if you want to select an edge. When it's blue means you can select an edge. This is you want to select the whole body. If I'm going to select the whole body, look at this. This is I'm selecting an edge. This I'm selecting a whole body because you see that isometric view is a whole body. And if I'm going to select this I'm selecting a plane. All these options are right here, body, edge, or plane. You don't want to select plane, you don't want to select body, you want to select only edge. Just turn these off. Now they are gray out. So you cannot select that. You can only select edge, 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 and edge, and hit OK. And there you put the radius. Let's say I want 250 radius. Then you have a 250 fillets right here on the body right there. Look at that. You're still in the same command. Use more. You can pick that, hit OK, and I can go back and select that also. So if I'm going to select plane here, face, I'll select this face down here. Look at that. Hit OK. I'm going to have a fillet on all the face right here. There we go. There's my fillet. I can hit OK. I can pick this edge. This is one edge. I can pick this edge. I can hit OK. And I can add a fillet on that one too. Look at this, how they blends on each corners. So that's your fillet. You can right click and say remove those. You can say remove that also. You can remove that. Hit OK. But here, look at this. This is going to be built up in your tree. This is my extrude. These are my one fillet right here. And this is another fillet, bottom right there. And you want to make a change, just double click on that. Let's say this fillet radius is only 100,000 or 300,000, doesn't matter. Change that. Okay. That fillet will change to 300,000 fillet. Click on that, hit delete on your keyboard, delete that, click on that, hit delete that. You have a red mark here, means you delete, you made some changes, your solid is dirty. So you have to go and say regenerate. Click on that, it will regenerate back to your real solid. And that red cross is gone. Going back to fillets, I can say constant fillet. Click on that and unselect the whole body here. This is my face. Make sure you turn this on. And now this is your solid. If you look at that solid, select that. It's select the whole solid, and the whole solid has going to have a fillet of radius 250. Whole body has a fillet. Look at that. Every edge going to have a fillet. And you hit OK. And there is my next step is my fillets. And you can double click it. You can change anytime you want, you can change the radius. Okay. And there is my 150,000 fillets. So I'll go ahead and delete that fillet. And we have a red cross here. That's not good. Say regenerate. It's going to go back, remove the fillets. It's going to regenerate and go back to your regular this. So just like fillet, I have a chamfer over here. One distance chamfer, two distance chamfer, it all depends. Let's say one distance chamfer works just like a fillet. You can pick a whole body. This is my whole body. Select it, hit OK. And I have one distance. Let's say I have a 200,000 or 250 chamfer. I'm going to have a chamfer on all the sides on a 250 chamfers. Delete that. Regenerate. Go back to your chamfer. Same thing. I can pick just on the edge. I want to chamfer on this edge, and this edge only. Hit OK. And then 250,000 chamfer on this edge right there. And same thing, you can do it on the face also. If I'll select uncheck, select the face, uncheck. The one turn of blue means that is active. So I'm going to pick up this face here and say OK and hit OK. And I have fillers on this face right there, chamfer. So we can do that. One distance chamfer, I can go ahead and delete that. Delete, and regenerate. There you go. Now here, if I want to, I'll go back to level. I'll turn my level on. And I'm going to turn my solid off. Go to isometric. Now here, if I want to make a hole in the center, then I have to go to wireframe, go to plane top. I have to create a circle. Let's say that my circle is right here in the middle. There's my circle. 0.750 radius. Here with this circle, I want to add a boss, or I want to drill a hole. So I'll go ahead and go back to my level. I'm going to turn my solid on. And now I'm going to go back to solid. I'll say extrude. I'll pick this guy here and hit OK. Hit OK. Now when I pick this, it's going to give me an option. You want to cut a body means you want to make a hole, or you want to add a boss means you want to add a material. Let's say I want to say I'm going to cut a body. Click that. It will cut a body through all. This is through all. You said distance, you want to do corner bore. Let's say I want to go only 1 inch deep. It will go only 1 inch deep. That hole right there, that's corner bore. You want to make a through all distance, just say through all. It will go a through all hole right there. It's a through all hole. I'll go ahead and go to the top plane. And let's say here I have a wireframe circles. I'll go to level. I'll turn my solid off. I'll go to the top plane. I have a circle over here, there, and there. Hit OK. So go back to solids, turn the solids on. So here, let's say I want to go to solids, I want to extrude, and I want to call this guy here and hit OK, hit OK. I want to say I want to cut a body. And I want to cut a body at a distance 4 inches means whatever the total length is going to go through, or you can say through all. Same thing. Put a distance here 5 inches. If you're going to put less than 4 inches, 3.5, then it's going to be a corner bore. But this thickness is 4 inches. You put 4 inches, it's going to go away through a hole, through all. Or you can just say through all, it will make a hole. Now that was we are cutting a body. So if I'm going to hit OK, I'm in the same command, extrude. I'm going to pick this chain 1, 2, 3, and 4. Apply, hit OK. Now here, I want to through all is going to cut a body. I don't want to cut a body. I want to add a boss. I want to add a material. And I want to go into this direction here, not 4 inches, any distance, you can control it. So add a boss is going to add the material with the geometry. Don't say create a body. You're going to create a body. I'll show you just 1 second. Don't say create a body. Create a body will create another body over here. You have only one solid, and these are the branches of your solid. So if I'm going to say create a body, you will not see a difference over here. But once you're going to hit OK, you're going to see another solid over here. Look at that. I'm going to hit OK, and there's another solids right here. That is not good. There is another solid. That's another solid. And this is an extrude for that solid. This is extrude for that solid, extrude for that solid, extrude for that solid. So how many solids we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 different bodies over here, not one body. We have 5 different bodies. So when these are part of this, it has to be a boss, not a solid. So this is not correct. Keep in mind that you have only one solid all the time, and rest all are going to be branches. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to delete this, delete that, delete that. I'll go to solid, extrude. I'm going to pick all these 4 chains. I'm going to hit OK and hit OK. Keep that in mind. You're adding a boss. Don't create another body. You have to have only one solid body initially. That's it. Now either you remove a material or you add a material. So here I want to add a boss. And it's going in different directions. See the direction arrow goes different direction. You can click on that and you can drag it like this also. And put the number over here. Let's say I want to go 4 inches. Minus. There you go. But you're adding a boss. Hit enter again. Or you can just put a number direct here. Just say 5 inches. It's going to go 5 inches. That's the direction here. You can change. Just click on that. Just hit this, either say reverse in that direction. It's still adding a boss, but it's going to go 5 from here. So you will not see 4 inches. You're going to only see this 1 inch extra in this case. If you reverse direction, it will go 5 inches from the geometry. It measures your distance from the base, from the geometry. Even if you go another direction, it's going to be 5 inches from here, guys. That's my 4 inches. But if you hit OK, you're going to see Alt S, you're going to see only this boss. This is the material you are adding. It's not a separate solid. It's a part of solid, extrude boss. You click on that. You say, I want to reverse the direction. And that's 5 inches right there. Or you want to go 1 inch in that direction, just put 1 inch. That's 1 inch right there. That's your boss. So make sure you have only one solid. Don't create any body. You don't want to. I don't want to see that another solid's over here, another solid. No, no, no. Then they're separate. Let me show you one thing over here. Regenerate. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and delete that. Okay. Now I have this extrude, then I have this extrude cut right there. So if I'm going to go and say solid, I'll say extrude, pick this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy right there. For as an example, we can just pick only one this right now. Wait a minute. Let's okay. I'm going to go and extrude cut. I'm going to delete that. Regenerate. So here, let's say I go to isometric. I want to go to extrude. Let's say I want to go extrude. I want to change the direction of extrude in this direction and hit OK. Regenerate. There we go. So now here I want to go to extrude and I want to pick this guy here. Hit OK. Hit OK. Now I want to go reverse in this direction. And let's say here, look at this. I didn't pay attention. It looks good to me. It says create a body. You're not paying attention. You hit OK. So what happened here? I have another solid body, which is this guy right there. And then I have another solid body, which is this guy here. So I have two different solid. So in that case, if I'll go to level, I'll turn level 1 off the geometries. So here I have a solid here, I have a solid here. It's two different bodies, not one. Look at this. You have a solid here, we have a solid here too. So if I want to create a fillet between these two guys, I will say constant fillet, and I'll pick this edge right there and hit OK. Look at my fillet. That fillet is, I want to make a fillet right here between this body right here, that. But here we got that fillet, and radius is doesn't matter, any radius, it's okay. So it will give me that fillet because this is a separate solid. If you want to fillet between this and this surface, this has to be one body. This extrude has to be a part of this, has to be a boss. Now we have another solid here, we have another solid here, that will give me this fillet because these are not joined. This has to be a part of this solid. Just a good example, like your arms, your legs, or your arms are a part of your body. They are not separate body. They're joined with your body. Your arms, your head, your legs, they're part of your body. So make sure you have only one body. So if I'll go in solid, delete that one. And now I want to create, go to level, pick this guy up. I want to go to extrude. And now I'm going to click that and hit OK, hit OK. I like this, but make sure you're not on a body. Just say add a boss. You're adding a part to this main body. That's what it is, a boss. Distance doesn't matter. Hit OK. Escape key. And there's, look at this. Now under solid, you have a boss. You have extrude, that's your main body, and you have a boss. So this is a part of this boss, is a part of that body. So it's one. Now if I'm going to make a fillet, constant fillet, let's go and turn this off. So now I want to make this fillet on this edge. Hit OK. Look at the fillet. That makes a fillet between this and this. That's what I want because this is one. So keep that in mind. You should not have 2 or 3 or 4 solids. No. You have one solid and everything is going to be branches for that solid. Extrude, that's the first thing you did. Then comes your boss. You add the boss. Then you go radius, you add the radius. So these are your tree. That's your tree. Okay, so just based on that, we're gonna move forward. I'm gonna go ahead and work on this project right here. So on this project, we're gonna create using solid. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna draw this geometry in our front plane or top plane, doesn't matter. We're gonna create this geometry, main geometry. That's what we're gonna create and extrude that to this thickness 1 inch. So in the front plane, let's create this body right here on your front plane. Create this body. So I'm going to start my origin right on the center where we can create this big circle. That circle is radius, okay, 3 inches diameter. And then we can create let's start with the rectangle right here, 2.5 by 5 inches rectangle. Let's do that. So let's do it. So I'm going to go to File, a new, don't save it. So here we can go ahead and go to wireframe. I can go to rectangle, rectangular shape, and I'll keep this my origin on the rectangle. And my width of rectangle is 5 inches. That's my 5 inches width, and my height is 2.5. Width is 5, and height is 2.5. And here comes the rectangle right there. Apply, hit OK. Every time I pick a file new, it changed my color. So I'll change that to green, and I have my wireframe color also green. Okay. So we got that. And we have a circle center point right at the origin. And that circle radius is also 3 inches diameter. Then we have an arc here, 2.5 arc, this guy right here. So let's keep the circle diameter 3 inches. There you go. Now we can create arc polar. We are doing in construction plane top. I want to do it in construction plane front, which is okay, doesn't matter. So arc polar with that center point. I'm going to start from there somewhere and goes to here, and that radius is 2.5. Hit OK and hit OK. All right, now if you look at print, I can offset that 4 inches, so I can offset that 0.5, 0.5, and that 0.5. This distance, look at that. I can offset that 0.5, and I can offset this also 0.5. So go to offset. Let's offset distance 0.5 over here. 0.5, that's 0.5, and this one over 0.5. Okay, hit apply and hit OK. And now I can go ahead and divide. I can get rid of this guy, this, and this. And I can trim this to over here. So go to trim entities, two entities. I want to trim this and this and that. Okay. And then I can divide this guy, I don't need that. And I don't need this either. And I don't need this either. Okay. And if you look isometric, that's my drawing right there. Now on the blueprint, this has been done on the front. I can go ahead and rotate my geometry to the front. So to rotate the geometry in the front, I have to be not in the top plane. It's going to rotate in the top plane, not in the front plane. It has to be in the right plane so I can rotate that. So I'll be right plane. I'm going to select this geometry and I go transform, rotate. If I'll say 90 degrees, rotate 90 degrees to the front plane, and I'll say move that. Hit OK. So now go to isometric. This is in my front plane. Now my geometry is in front plane. That looks good. Right click, clear colors. Here is my all the three axes, isometric, and my geometry is on my front plane. Perfect. There we are. So we got the basic geometry. And now I can extrude it. I can go to solid, extrude. Let's pick our chain. Make sure don't pick partial, don't pick single. You have to pick a chain. Select this chain and hit OK. Hit OK. And there comes your solid. I want to go to the different directions. And my thickness over here is how much? If you look at your blueprint, that is 1 inch. That is 1 inch. So go ahead and put there 1 inch. There you go. That's my geometry right there. Hit OK. Now I can pick this guy over here and hit OK and OK. I want to cut a body. Click it. That will cut a body. If you say add a boss, it will add a boss to any distance, this direction, or you can go into this direction. It will add a boss. Add a boss will add a material, cut a body will remove a material. That's what it is. And always look at the arrow. You want to cut a body in this direction. So click on that. Or you can say reverse from here too. Same thing. There you go. This way or this way, doesn't matter. You want a contour board that is 1 inch thick. I will say 750 deep, put 750 over here. You have a contour board flat on the other side. That's a 750 contour board. If you put 1 inch, then it's going to be a through hole because your thickness is 1 inch. You will say 0.99, 990,000. Still have a 10,000 over here. But 1 inch will make a 1 inch through hole. But just a through hole. Simple. Hit OK. Now, if you look at here, it says over here we have a chamfer. Both edges on this hole, 100,000 45 degree chamfer. And then it says fillet the solid with 0.50,000 radius. So rest of the body, if you look at here on all the edges, the whole body, this is solid, is 50,000. So these are 50,000 radiuses, all edges. If you see it, these are all 50,000 radiuses. But there is a chamfer. So I can put 100,000 chamfer. So I'll go back to level. Okay, make sure you change the solid to different level because I'm going to turn this geometry off. So I'll go back to my solid, right click, and I'm going to change to level 2. Move to level 2, and we're going to name the solids. Okay. I'll go to level, turn my geometry off, go to level 2, turn that off. Okay, now we can work on chamfer, 100,000, 45-degree chamfer. Let's do it. We are under solids. Here is my constant distance chamfer, and that chamfer is going to be edges. Turn this off, turn this off. I'm going to pick this edge, go to the other side, pick this edge, hit OK, and my chamfer is 100,000. I have 100,000 chamfer. Hit OK. Now all these edges, we have 50,000 fillet. If you look at here, guys, I have a 50. I'm going to go ahead and delete all these. So yeah, over here we have 50,000 fillets right here. Fillet the solid means this entire body has a 50,000 fillet. That's what that means. And you can see it. These are all 50,000 fillets on each edge, except here, these are all 50,000 fillets. So if I'll go back and say solid constant fillets, I have to pick up my edges like this edge, this edge, this edge, this, that, 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 that. When it says all solid means each and every edge has to have a fillet. That's what that means. On some area, you can pick this plane face also, like this face. I want fillet on this face. That's fine too. That's fine too. You can pick this face. You can pick this face right here. That's fine too. But don't pick this face because we already have a chamfer over here. You cannot do that on the whole. Okay, so are we missing anything? We are missing this corner. We are missing this, this, and this little edge right there. So make sure you don't miss anything. I think we are pretty much, we got it. I think that okay. And the radius is 50,000. And hit OK. So you have constant fillet radius. Look at that, 50,000. If you check, I hope we haven't missed anything, but you never know. That looks good. Looks good. Isometric. I think we missed this edge. No, we are good right here. But look at this, how many steps we had to do that. to do the fillets on the body. So this is not appropriate to do that. What we will do, I'm going to just go ahead and delete that and regenerate. If you delete anything, the solid turns red cross. You see this here? That means this is your dirty operation. So you have to regenerate. There you go. And I'm going to also change this one distance chamfer. Delete that too. And this extrude cut also, I'm going to delete that too and regenerate. So I will go ahead and do this first, and then I will go to make a constant fillet on the body, whole body. Pick this whole body, just one shot. Look at this, I've got a constant fillet on every edges. There we go. Radius 50,000, we are done. We do not have to pick each and every edges, guys. And now I can go ahead. Go to level, turn this on. Now I can go ahead and create a extrude cut, a hole. So now go to solids, extrude, pick this guy, hit OK, hit OK. I want to cut a body, and I want to go reverse through all, or distance 4 inches, doesn't matter, and hit OK. Now go to level, turn this off, and I can cut a chamfer. Constant distance chamfer, one distance chamfer, pick this edge and this back edge, hit OK, and that distance is 100,000. So this is the right way, more feasible, appropriate to cut that chamfer and the solid, the whole body with 50,000 radius. All right, so that completes your geometry. Now, going back to levels, I'm going to turn this on. Going back to solid, I'm going to delete the whole solid. Now, if you go to solids, you say extrude, you pick this first chain, and now I say new chain 2. The first chain is going to give you the outside of the body. New chain 2, if you pick this here and hit OK, you want to create a body, and look at this, it will give you a hole at the same time. But the second chain will be a hole. The first chain will be your body, the second chain will be a hole, and you can say the distance is 1 inch. It's going to be 1 inch right there. Look at that. So you have solid, and this is on extrude, which extrude has your body and your hole at the same time, because we picked 2 chains. I'm going to go ahead and delete that again. Solid, you say extrude. If you pick this chain and hit OK, you picked only 1 chain, it will give you a body, the whole chain. Then we go back and pick this again, second up, and hit OK. And now I want to pick this chain, hit OK. I want to cut a body. So these are 2 different operations. So you have extrude first, and then you had a extrude cut after that, which is okay. So instead of doing that, you can skip that step. You can say extrude, my chain extrude 1. This is my chain extrude 1. And say chain 2. If you're going to pick the second chain 2, that will make a hole. Look at that. That makes a hole. It's still only one operation your extrude, but it will make a hole if you pick the second chain at the same time. Solid, delete that. Construction plane front. If I'm going to say wireframe circle, I have circle here and circle here. I'll say solid, extrude, pick this chain, and chain 2, this is my chain 2, chain 3, this is my chain 3, and this is my chain 4. Hit OK, hit OK. Those are going to be whole. This is going to be whole, this is going to be whole, that's going to be whole. So you are doing all this in just in one step under extrude, rather than cutting this hole separate and these holes separate and these holes separate. So that's going to be a separate operation. But this is just under one extrude. So you have that options also to do that. If you go to solid, I'm going to go ahead and delete that solid, and you're going to solid extrude. So here you're going to pick just one chain and hit OK. It'll give you one body, just the body, and hit OK. Then you're going to pick this as separate, and this and this. That's going to make a whole. So it's another step right here. You want to cut a body, select this option. You want to cut a body through a hole right there. But here, if you want contour bore 0.5, you have a contour bore on all the three. If this is contour bore, these are through holes, then you have to do it separate. But they're all through, then you can just say through all. All these three holes are going to be through holes. So that's another way to do it. But what you guys have to do, going back again, I'm going to go ahead and delete this also. You go to solid, extrude, pick this guy here first, hit OK, hit OK, and my distance is 1 inch. There we go. And hit OK. And I don't cut the hole yet, so go to levels and turn that off. And now go to extrude, sorry, go to constant fillet and select the body, whole body, right there. And that radius is 50,000, hit OK. And the radius is 50,000. It's gonna make a 50,000 on the entire body, guys. Look at this, everywhere you have 50,000. Hit OK. And then you go back to level, turn your geometry on, and just make a through hole extrude, cut this. Hit OK. And I want to cut a body. There we are. Hit OK. And then you go back to levels and turn this off, geometry, and go to one distance chamfer and pick this edge, and the back edge right there, both sides, two sides, and hit OK. And your chamfer is 100,000 and hit OK. Hit the escape key, right click isometric, that is your finished geometry right here. Look at that right there. This is what we got. I'm going to go ahead and pause your recording for a second.
Recording stopped.
All right, any questions, guys? So this is something you guys have to to practice using solid. And your this project right here, the one we did last Thursday, I think. Yes. So this project also, I want you guys to do surfaces like we did. And I also want you to do using solids. You can use the same geometry, basically same geometry you have from the solids. Let me go and turn this recording on.
Recording in progress.
Yes, so like I said, so this part also you're going to create by solids. We already did last week using solid as surfaces, so we can also do this using solids. So I'm going to show you how you can do this on solid. I'll go and say file, open, and that file is that is project number 16. Do I have project number 16 over here somewhere? Right there. Okay, here we go. Don't save it. Okay. So this is what you can do. Let me show you. I'm talking about this project, and we have drawn this last week. So you go to your front plane like we did, and we can use the same geometry we used for surfaces, guys. Same geometry. So that's what we created in the front plane. And if you remember, on the right plane, we have created this geometry on the right plane. If you look at your drawing on your right plane, this is your geometry on your right plane right here, guys. Look at that. That's your geometry right there on the right plane. And it has to be a closed chain, like the way you see it over here. It has to be a closed chain. And that geometry is right here at the center. So if you look for, this is going to be my Z0. If you look at here, I'm going to go ahead and turn my axis on. So that geometry is right plane at Z0. Look at the right plane. And this geometry has been created on the right plane. Which is this guy right here, what I'm showing you right there. That's geometry right there. Over here, starting from there. Basically, we started from, let me go ahead and delete. Basically, we started this geometry like this. There, there, there. And from there, we are coming down to this length, or you can extend that length, that doesn't matter. So and from there, I'm going to go ahead and close that geometry like this, because we are using that chain to cut it. And that's what you see over here, this chain. And we already had drawn this, remember, at 65 degree, and then we draw this line, and we create a plane, and on the plane we create that, and we created, if you guys remember, last time we created surfaces on that going into that plane. So I'll go to construction plane, name that plane was 5-degree plane. So in that plane, we created surfaces draft, which was this guy here. And we went the draft other way directions, opposite side, If I remember, we went to 3 inches. So we created that last time. We're going to use the same geometry, but we are not creating surface this time. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. We are not creating surfaces, but we are creating it using the same geometry. So here, going back to your construction plane top. So once you got in the front plane, you got this geometry, guys. I'm going to use this geometry to create a main body. Look at here. Go to solid, extrude, pick your chain. That's my chain. Hit OK, hit OK. And the length of this body right here. How much is that length? Look at this blueprint. That length is 3 and 15/16. 3 and 15/16 is going to be 3.9375. That's your length. So just go here and type here 3.9375. That's 3 15/16. Hit enter. That is my body right here. 3.9375, which is this dimension right there, guys. 3 15/16. That's all you have to put it in, and it'll give me that body. Look at that. Hit OK. Now hold the Alt key, hit S. So you want to see that geometry. Alt S. Turn the surface on and turn the surface off, or you can go under View and you can see those also right here. Outline, surface. This is shaded. Outline, shaded. Go back to shaded. Wireframe. This is your wireframe. You can do wireframe or Alt S. Wireframe. You want to go to dimmed or shaded, you can pick that shaded or go wireframe. So under wireframe, now we have same command. We say chain. I'm going to chain this guy here. Hit OK. Hit OK. And go back to shaded. And look at this here. I'm creating a body. That's not good. I want to cut a body. Not just in one side. I want to cut a body in both directions. And look at this. We got that drawing. We got that drawing. This has to be a closed chain all the time. To cut a body or to build a body, this has to be closed chain. This chain line can, let me show you here. Hit OK. Under solid, I'm going to go and say extrude cut. I'm going to delete that. Regenerate. So I'm going to see this line right here. This line has to be closed. So I'm going to just go ahead and delete this solid, whole solid right there. Okay. So this line here, if you look at the right plane, this line doesn't have to match with this geometry. No. If I'm going to delete that line, and I can extend, I can draw a line, wireframe line, horizontal, go to right plane. I can draw a line over here, that far out. And then I can go ahead and trim 3 entities. I can trim this to this, join it. So I can draw that line. Even my body is, if I'm going to go to solid, extrude, I'm going to pick this guy, extrude it, hit OK, hit OK. I can go only not both directions, just one direction to reverse that. And that is my 3.9375. That's good. Hit OK. And now go to view, change to your wireframe. And now I can pick this guy here. Even this is out here, doesn't matter. It has to Alt S. It has to be, look at the right plane. It has to cut through all. It cannot be shorter than this body. It can be longer than this body. That geometry is okay. As long as it covers this body to cut it, and it has to be a closed chain. So this line cannot be here on the body. It can be under the body because it's going to cut all this area. It's going to cut all this area right there. And hit OK. Hit OK. And make sure you're going to say, I want to cut a body. Look at this. You are saying add a body or add a boss will add a material. If you go both sides, it's going to add a material on both sides. We don't want that. We want to cut a body both sides. There we go. And that will cut the body. So this does not matter. This matters that where it's going to cut. This matters, but this line doesn't matter. Because looking from the right plane, it's going to cut all this body. There's no body here, that's okay. But it will still cut it. This line cannot be shorter line over here. It cannot be. And it's going to cut only in that area, and you're going to left the body over here. So that's very important. So what I'm saying here, if I'm going to go to solid body, I'm going to go and delete that also. So here, if I'll go ahead and go wireframe, align endpoint, I have a horizontal line. Let's say I have a horizontal line over there in the right plane. And now I'm going to say trim 3 entities. I want to trim this, this to this, and delete this one here. So now if I want to go and say solid extrude, I'm going to pick this as my extrude, hit OK, hit OK. I want to create a body in one direction, reverse the direction, and that is 3.9375. That's good. Hit OK. Now Alt S, I want to cut a body to this. Look at this, my chain on this. If you look from the right side, this is shorter than your body. And watch here, what's going to happen now? Alt S, I want to say OK. Okay, I want to cut a body through all. In both directions. Look at this. You have a leftover here. Because the geometry is going to cut. Wherever you have geometry, it left the material, didn't cut it because you're telling, I just want to cut this window. So this line has to be below this surface. That's what it is. That's what I'm telling you. Look at that. It's going to just cut whatever you say. I'll go back, extrude cut. I'm going to delete that. Generate. So I'm going to have in the right plane, I'm going to have a line horizontal, and that is going to be below this. That's very important. Right here is good. Alt S, hold the Alt key, hit S, and then I can just go ahead and say trim 2 entities, 3 entities, 1, 2, and 3, and get rid of this here. Okay, now I can cut it. I can go to solids, extrude, pick this chain, hit OK, hit OK, and I want to cut a body distance through both directions. Hold the Alt key, hit S, surface. That is good right there. Hit OK. All right. So that's now if I'm going to say solid, extrude, and I'm going to pick my chain, this guy right here, hit OK, hit OK. Look at this. This is what we're going to get. I want to cut a body. It will not cut a body because this has to be closed. Like I said, it's going to be closed chain. That it has to, the chain, once the chain is closed, then it's going to follow that geometry and it's going to cut it. You can create a body with that thickness and that distance, but you cannot cut it. So to do that, we have to go to 3D and I'll go to wireframe line. We have to join this, guys. We are in construction plane, right? Go to construction plane, 25 degrees. Delete that. Line and point from there to, I'm in horizontal line, freeform line, right there. So make sure you close that. Now, once you close that, you can say solid, extrude, pick this chain, close chain, hit OK, and you cut a body through all. Look at that. Through all. And it will make that. Hit OK. That will cut that. And then you can go extrude. You can cut this guy right here. Hit OK. Hit OK. You can cut that. You say cut a body. You don't have to say, just say distance or through all, doesn't matter. You don't have to pick both directions. You can go in one direction, just change the directions. There you go. Hit OK. Then you're going to go ahead and pick this guy here, this guy, this, and this. Hit OK, hit OK. And cut a body again. Go to the other side, say reverse direction. Click right there. And it's going to drill the holes. I'm going to go ahead and change my solids, all solids. Right click, change to level 2. And say this is my solids. Okay. Let's go to level, turn level 2 on, turn level 1 off. There is your geometry right there. So look at this, how simple is that to creating a solid. So here, remember, this is one solid. These are not individual surfaces. If you remember, compare that with surfaces, what we did, each were a different surface. This was a different surface. This was a separate surface, different separate surfaces. Those all were surfaces. But this is one solid. So that is my solid. If I want to create a surface from solids, I can do it. So if you look at level 1, level 2 is my solids right there. And it's just one solid. If you look at entities, we have one solid only. We don't have individual surface. That's what we did, creating your solids. Now, if I want, I can create surfaces from solids. I can do that. Because what happens if I want to create a toolpath and I just want to focus on this surface on the fillet, I want to just cut this one here. It's really hard for me to cut it in solid, just this little part right here. So I can change this into solid, into surfaces. So what we do, go to level, and I'll pick level 3 over here. And under level 3, I'm going to say my level 3 is my surfaces. Enter. I'm on level 3 surfaces. So how are we going to change solid into surfaces? Watch here. Go to surfaces. Here it says surfaces from solids. Click on that. It says select entities. Pick all the geometries right there, just like that. There we go. Hit end of the selection. Watch. Hit enter. Hit OK. Keep original solid. I want to keep my original solid. And hit OK. Now you see two different bodies. You see surfaces in your red or brown color. In the gray, you see solid. So you go to level. Watch here under level, I got 32 surfaces. You turn the solid off. Now these are your surfaces. Alt S, you see all the individual surfaces right here. I can select one surface at a time. Look at that. I can select one surface at a time. I can create one surface at a time. Let's say I want to work on just this surface. I want to create a toolpath on this. I can pick this surface and I can change this, my level, to level 5. And I can name this surface fillet. Okay. I can go to level. I can turn everything off and I can surface fillet on and turn off. You have your surface fillet and you can just create a toolpath on this surface. That's the beauty about surfaces. So any surface, click all surfaces, turn it on. You can pick any surface you want to work. You want to work on this surface, put it at a different level. So under level, you see here, I have a surface, I have a solid. So you want to see solid, check the solid, turn the surface off, and check your solid, turn this off, and turn this fillet off. This is my solid in gray color. This is all solid. So if you're creating a solid, from solid, go to surfaces, and you say, I want to create a surface from solid, this option. All right. So on this part, you created, last week we created the surfaces. So you have to create this also solids. For project number 16, you should, when you save file, save as. So you're going to save this wherever you want to save, and you name this project 16 solid. And other one, you're going to save this project 16 only as a surface. So project 16 has to be created on surface and solid both. I'm going to go ahead and pause your recording.
Recording stopped.
You guys have any questions? Okay. Then same thing. Project 14. Same thing I want you guys to do on project 14. You have to create surfaces and solid. you already have a geometry. Let me see if I have file open. If I have that, oh yeah, here we go. Project, no, not this one. I want the middle part. This is lathe, all lathe. We don't have that. Mhm. No, 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 no. No, 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 I don't have that. Anyway, so here on this project, let me go ahead and turn this recording on.
Recording in progress.
So on project 14, guys, I want you guys to create solid. Again, it's very simple. You're going to go ahead, use this basic geometry from surface, this geometry right here, the one you created. Use this geometry and go to solids, go extrude, and you're going to extrude that. You're going to extrude that to this distance, 690,000. So you extrude that, you get one main body here. Then the one you created, your rectangle, 1.76 by 1.75, this one here, you're going to use that as a boss. You're going to extrude boss up 1.31 plus this radius. That's going to be total distance. You're going to extrude that boss up to here. So basically your boss is going to be like this, just like that, up to this distance right there, which is going to be this distance, which is 1.31 plus 0.88 radius. That's going to be the total distance you're going to boss it. And then to make this radius fillet, you're going to go to solid, you're going to say constant fillet, and you're going to pick this edge and this edge and put radius 880. It will give you this fillet right this, like this right there. And then make 120,000 fillets on all these edges right here, guys. This edge right here, this edge, and the back edge, all the four edges, make that radius. And then the last thing you're going to do, you're going to make 120,000 radius on the edges on solids right all around this part right here, on all around. Basically this all around, pick this four edges right here and cut that fillet. That's the last thing. And then you can use this whole circle to make a extrude cut, and use these two holes to make extrude cut. So you should try this. If not, then we'll talk about that. You should try that also, creating that model using solids. Use solids on that one too. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording
Recording
here.
stopped.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm going to go say file new. Don't save it. I'm going to change my color. I know it's going to go to blue here. I'll go to green. That's good. So here, let's go ahead and talk about this geometry right here, guys. Delete, 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 delete. Mhm. Okay. Okay, let's create this part here. Let's go ahead. We're going to start. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and close this. We don't need that. And we're going to close this. We don't need that. Let's work on this. So I'm going to create the radius. Again, this radius was 1.275. You guys remember that, right? Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes.
I don't know. I lost you guys. What?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you guys can see my screen now, right? Okay, we're talking about this radius. That radius is not 1.125. That radius is 1.275. Make sure you make that note. That radius is 1.275. I think you guys should have it from the last one. Is my recording on? Recording pause. I think we should have two different recordings now. Yeah.
Recording in progress.
I think so. We'll see. Okay, so going back, we'll draw that drawing. I'll go to wireframe. I'm in construction plane top. arc polar with that center point. I can draw this arc right there. And that radius is 1.275. Okay. There's another arc from this here, radius 1.275 again. Okay. And then I have a circle over here. That is going to be my x minus 2.25 comma y0 right there. And that is the whole size is 0.625. If you look at that, holes are 0.625. Two places, and this radius is 888. So we're going to see a hole size 0.625. Okay, and the other hole on the other side is going to be x 2.25 comma 0. That is going to be over here. The diameter is 0.625. Okay. And then we have our polar with the same center point. Start from there to here. Radius 0.88. Okay. There. Radius 0.88. Okay. And we can go ahead and say line tangent is on from there to there, 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 there. All right, divide command. Let's get rid of this, 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 and that. Here, so we got this basic geometry. I'm going to go ahead and say solid. I can solid that, extrude it. There we go. And pick that and say I want to extrude in different directions, say reverse. And that distance, if you look on the extrude, that distance is 690 extrude. So go to 690.690. There you go. Okay. Now, after that, I'm going to draw this square or rectangle 1.76 by 175, and that's going to be my boss. So I'm going to go to top plane, and here I have to draw that. So I'll go to surface, wireframe, rectangle, rectangular shapes, and it's going to be the center. The width is going to be 1.76. The height is 1.75. I'm going to rotate that 45 degrees. It's going to be right there. There we go. Hit OK. So I'm going to see if I got everything OK. I want to analyze. This should be 1.76, right? This should be 1.75. There we go. We are good. So now this one, we're going to use, if you look at my solids over here, that's my solid. I extrude my solid. And now I'm going to go to solid. I'm going to go extrude again, pick this guy here, and that is going to be my boss. Add a boss. Don't say create a body. You got to watch this, guys. Are we recording? Yes. So this has to be add a boss, And the distance is going to be, like I said, the distance is going to be 1.31 plus 0.88. So we're going to give this total distance right here, 1.31 plus 88. So I'm going to say distance 1.31 plus 0.88. That's my total distance. Here we go, 19. And here on this distance, I can just hit OK and hit OK. Now I can make a fillet, constant fillet, pick the edge. I pick this edge and this edge and hit OK and put the radius 0.88. There we go. Okay. So here I have a hole right here. So if you look at this hole right here, 5/8 hole, so we have to create a plane. Now, if you remember when we are creating geometry, we are creating those lines, and with the lines we are creating by geometry. So if you go to plane, look at this option right here. Plane from solid faces. So simple. So click that one and pick the solid face. It says select a flat solid face. This is my solid face right here. Again, right hand rule, same thing applies over here. This is good right there. My X to the right, Y up, Z plus, that's good. Hit OK. And just name that plane. I'll just say plane dash A is my plane. That's OK. Hit OK. And now we can see that plane over here. Say named plane, plane A. That's my plane A right here. And that's where I can just go ahead and go to wireframe, create a circle, center point with this guy right there. Point is right there. I can pick that, and that is 0.625. You can create a plane wherever you want. You can create a plane over here. You cannot create a plane on the curve. It has to be flat. It has to be flat. So I can use this. I can go back to my top plane, and I can go to solids, extrude, pick this, hit OK, hit OK. I want to cut a body and go in reverse direction that way and cut it through. There's my hole right there. I can solid, go extrude. I can pick this guy and cut a hole. Say cut a body. Going down there, it cuts the body right there. Hit OK. Now I can go ahead and make my fillet. So I'll go and change my solid to a different plane, a different level. I'll change this to level 2. And I name my solids. Okay. You go to levels, use level 2 solid, turn this off. Here, now I can go ahead and make this fillet right here, 120,000 typical fillets. Then I can make this fillets right here and the fillets on the bottom. Let's do it. So we'll go to solids, constant fillet, pick this your edge, and you say propagate along tangency. Make sure this should be on and hit OK. Propagate along tangency means anything is going to be tangent to that. It's going to make a fillet on all of them. So make that fillet radius 0.120. It should be on, propagate along tangency. If this is not on, it's going to make only fillet wherever I select it. So that's good. Another fillet, I can make this here, hit OK, and make sure this should be on here again. It's going to propagate along tangencies. Anything is going to be tangent to that. It will make a fillet, so it will take care of that. And that's 120,000 fillet. Hit apply. Now I can do the same thing of pick this edge. If this is off, then you cannot do that. So make sure you select just this, hit OK. It's going to propagate along tangencies. It's going to make that.
Recording stopped.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I lost you guys, right?
Yes.
Oh my God. So did you see all this? No, you don't see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Um,
Not yet. Okay, how about now?
no.
How about now?
Yes.
Okay. So have you guys seen this whole thing? What I was showing you guys? Did you guys seen all this? What I was showing you?
Not complete.
I was showing all these steps. Could you see it?
Yes, this one, this one. After
Oh, okay.
fillet.
Oh,
Mm,
okay. So this is how you check your
yeah.
solids. That's
Mm,
all. Okay, that's part of this. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
mm.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was saying that you guys have to just draw this project number 14 and 16 using solid and surfaces both. So make sure you're already done with surfaces and use solids and create this with the solids. It's going to be a lot of work for you guys, I know.
Yes.
Yeah. So just work on that, guys. And next Thursday we are not meeting next Thursday, guys. There's not going to be class next Thursday. And on the 25th, we are meeting on campus on the 25th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. No class next Thursday online. I'll just come and meet you guys on 25th. We we have a couple more projects left. We are pretty much done. I'm going to talk that on the 25th on campus. So I'll see you guys in person on July 25th. So no class on Thursday. I want you guys just work on all these projects. I know there's a lot of projects for you guys on late class and this class. So let's take Thursday off because we're pretty much, I want you guys to catch up. I don't want to give you more work on Thursday. So
Mm.
just work on these projects, okay?
How about tomorrow? Do we have class for tomorrow?
Yes. For tomorrow we have class for late.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, no problem.
Have a good evening.
No problem. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and let you go, and I'll see you guys on campus next Tuesday.
Bye. Thank
Okay, guys. Good night, huh?
you.
Take care.